Welcome to Moms Without Filter. We are doing a audio only um, for the first episode. We've been trying really hard to get this damn episode out, so we're just gonna go ahead and do just audio for now until we get everything set up properly. Um, but welcome. My name is Nailene. You can call me Nani. I am a mother of two boys, 7 and 3. I work from home. I work for a grocery store, and I'm just a support technician. And that's pretty much my life. I'll let you introduce yourself there.
Okay, my name is Andrea. I think I'm 36. Yeah, I'm 36. I'm going to be 37. I have 4 kids, 2 stepdaughters, 14, 12, and then my 2.5-year-old and my 1.5-year-old. I'm happily married. I work mainly on the weekends just as a waitress part-time, and I'm pursuing my degree in marketing. Me and Nani have been friends for 12 plus years, and honestly, I'm like so clustered on what to say because we've tried so many fucking times to record this episode.
I know, it's so stressful at the moment for us guys, so we have quite literally been trying every kind of damn avenue that we possibly could think of to do our audio and video recording, and it has just been so stressful.
Streaming individually is easy. Streaming as two people in 2 different locations has all these complications when you should just be able to hit record and that's it. But that's not how it works. Not at all.
No. Not at all. So we're just gonna go ahead and send out the audio part. We were gonna also do a live today, but then it wasn't allowing me to join or for you to invite me to it. It was just weird.
Yeah, it was weird. It's like so many stipulations, stupid shit.
Yeah, so stupid.
We're going to get into this first episode. The first thing, one of the main things we're discussing in this episode is postpartum. Not just postpartum like within the first year as they define it, but how anxiety, mental health, depression is so important, not just for moms, but for women. And the social media trend of getting your pink back or like becoming an individual again after being a mom, and then just a few things that go along with it. So I don't know, do you want to start with your experience after having kids and your anxiety and all of that, or do you want me to go ahead into it?
You can go ahead and start. Go ahead and start for me because I've got children trying to pop in here, so I'll let you go ahead and start. I'm gonna mute myself for a minute just so I can get that taken care of.
That's okay. All right. So I've had 2 kids very close together. So my daughter was 4 months old when I had my son, or well, not when I had my son. I'm sorry, when I got pregnant with my son. But my pregnancy with my daughter was fairly easy. It was kind of stressful because we experienced 2 miscarriages previously, and it took a long time for us to be able to conceive again, so we didn't know what we were going to be getting into with the pregnancy, if we were at risk or not. Plus, we were older, and I think I was 32, I believe. But, so the pregnancy was fairly easy. Childbirth was difficult, which I will tell that story at a later time. But then I found out I was pregnant with my son. So I was basically pregnant for 2 years straight. So I didn't really have like a postpartum experience with my daughter because it was just the pregnancy hormones, and I was always sick all the time and all of this stuff. But then after my son was born, I was able to have time, to relax and stuff. I wasn't working as much. And so the postpartum for me really didn't hit until my son was about almost a year old. And the stress and the anxiety, well, actually that's not true. It was very stressful trying to balance 2 kids at once, so close in age, and like trying to take care of them, take care of myself, take care of the house, like all of those things were stressful. And then when I had reached the point where they were when they were both becoming toddlers, it became even more stressful because it's like they feed off of each other, and mentally, sometimes I have to go in the other room and probably say words that are inappropriate and things, and just be frustrated. I definitely I yell probably more than I absolutely should, I guarantee it. But my kids aren't in any poor situation. God forbid mom leaves the room for a second. They're attached to my hips. So it's nothing like that. It's just mentally it was a lot to go from having a kid, having another kid, and then trying to balance it all. So I never really, I think I was always in a place of like frustration until you came to me and was like, because I was trying to find things that I could do to get, to relieve that stress, and cleaning and organizing and doing all that for my house was some of that, but then like having time for myself and trying to deal with my emotions and the roller coaster of my hormones and everything, I never really had time to do that. So then you came to me about the podcast, and I was in this situation where I was like trying to find something, that was for me. So I felt like finally I was like starting to work on things, like going back to school, starting this podcast, doing different things. So my postpartum experience was like rushed. It was rushed up until a point it was no longer postpartum. And now it's just stress and anxiety all the time. And I just want to throw some information out there that we did do some research on this. It's from the CDC. And it says 1 in 10 women, once they reach reproductive age, before they even have kids, have reported symptoms of recent or major depression episodes. And then study shows an increased rate in this in postpartum since 2000 to 2015, where 1 in 8 women experience this, which is on average about 10 to 15% of the population. So of the people that actually report their depression to like the doctors and stuff, when they give you that survey when you go to the doctor, about 15% of women are experiencing postpartum depression, and that's only the women that actually talk about it. Like they're not. Yeah. There's not anybody. There's so many women out there that don't talk about like what's bothering them or depression or anxiety because they're so worried about putting their kids first, their family first, their financial problems. They have all of these things to deal with, so they're always putting those emotions on the back burner. So another thing with this is that it says that women are much higher at risk for this when they are faced with the whole without the village aspect of things, and they're facing everything alone. So it makes them more at risk to be experiencing depression and anxiety and all of these things that not just come with postpartum, but come with raising children in the world nowadays.
Yeah, no, exactly. And it's a good point. Like you said, not everybody mentions it when they go to the doctor, so I'm sure that percentage is actually, way higher than what's being reported. Or recorded, I guess, reported.
And for you, it was a lot different because you had so much. Well, it's like you didn't get a chance to really experience the whole postpartum effect either.
No, for me, I think the thing is that, like, I think I did have some symptoms, but I don't think that they quite literally made it impossible for me to just, because, like you said, it's us mothers, we just kind of go, and it's like we don't even really think about ourselves in that moment, like when I first had Ben, my 7-year-old, my brother had just passed away. I had just found out I was pregnant, and then the next day he passed. So it was a lot of just trying to be happy and joyful and bringing that happiness towards my mom, who was very sad of losing her first child, her firstborn son. It was difficult for her. So I think for me, it was more of just, okay, well, here's this blessing, here's a miracle, and I shouldn't be upset, and I shouldn't channel like any kind of emotions that are going to damage or hurt anybody else at the moment, because everybody's dealing with really bad raw emotions at that time. And I can remember when I gave birth to my Ben, which my brother's name is Ben. We named our son after my brother, so his name is Ben. Anyways, when I gave birth to him, I didn't feel that happiness. Like everybody says, oh my God, the moment you lay your eyes on your kid, it's like tears run down your face and stuff like that. And I just I feel like because I swallowed so many emotions during my pregnancy that I kind of just didn't allow myself to feel. So after I gave birth to him and everything, like I think the only thing that really got me emotional was the breastfeeding aspect of things, because it was very difficult for me to produce any kind of milk, and so I wasn't supplying the amount of milk that my son should have been drinking. And for me, I think that was just a lot, and it weighed very heavily on me. And that's like the one thing that I can remember that I was super torn about, because at the hospitals they kind of try to, I don't want to say force you, but they kind of try to veer you towards the breastfeeding versus doing formula. And I get it. It's more nutrition for your kid. Like, it helps. It's a miracle. If you can dish out the breast milk, like, good for you. And if that's something that you're able to do, that's great. But for me, it was extreme soreness, painful every time my son tried to latch on. And that was for both of my kids. So I think for me, the postpartum itself was more of just a lot of pain with the breastfeeding. And I also had C-section for both of my kids, so I didn't give natural birth. So I had a lot of healing to do in that aspect as well. And I do remember that with Benjamin, my C-section actually opened up. And I was nervous and scared because, I was like, oh shit. But, I went to the doctors and they were just like, oh, it's just the outerwear. Like, here, slap some of this cream in there. Which is so weird, you know what I mean? Like, you're just putting cream in a hole. It's like, wait a minute, should I be doing this? Like, am I going to get an infection? And so I feel like that is a lot of what I dealt with. I dealt with a lot of anxiety. Just always making sure that my kids were breathing. I was quite literally always making sure.
Oh my God, I did that too.
And yeah, like myself, I didn't really, the hair loss that I deal with now is crazy. Like, I feel like I don't even know how the hell I still have a full head of hair. Because I literally shed so much hair. It is crazy. And that's why I don't think that postpartum just lasts for that for that first year. I think it does kind of carry on. Because us mothers, like, we stress, the loss of hair is a big symptom.
Yeah, it definitely is. No, that's not one thing that I experienced, though.
Hair loss?
No, I did not experience hair loss at all. Like, my hair is still, like, thick and everything. But I had a lot of other health issues with that. But I can understand, like, that would be stressful. You'd be like, what is wrong with me? Like, what is going on here?
Yeah, I think for me it was a lot of, like, what would be called postpartum anxiety. I think that's what I struggled with a lot. I lost a lot of sleep, just because I was literally always thinking that something was going to go wrong. Like, if my child was going to freaking roll over, and he's only like a month old, you know what I mean? And I'm thinking all these crazy, like, scenarios in my head, and I think that's what I struggled with the most during both of my pregnancies.
I think I can definitely relate to that too, and I think a lot of women can relate to that, because to this day, like, if my son is quiet and sleeping for a long period of time without, like, waking up, or if Abigail is, I'm like, babe, go check and see if he's breathing, or if she's breathing, or is she okay? Like, I feel like those are things that you always, you're always worried about your kids well-being, their health, and everything. There's actually many studies on this. Like, one thing that I found was that the New York Post reported that moms spend about 1,400 hours on average worrying about their child's health within the first year. And then after that, they say it's about 37 hours a week. 37 hours a week. Can you imagine how much time that takes out of your day every day? It's about 80 days of worry per year. Just all of that time adds up to 80 whole days. And that's just an average of the study they've conducted. And there are rising numbers of anxiety and depression, not just in pregnant women or in moms, but in women in general, especially with the rise of social media and the portrayal of what the perfect lifestyle is, or the perfect mom. Yeah, like the fake expectations. And a lot of streamers that I watch, I just want to say, like, props to the streamers out there that say, you know, this, you only see a portion of their life. It's not real life. It's just a portion of what they're giving you. They're not giving you the dirty behind the scenes, you know, the days their house isn't clean, or the days they, you know, your kids, I feel like every mom has days where their kids still are in pajamas, or they're having Pop-Tarts or something unhealthy, or, if there's moms out there that literally are just happy as pie all the time and have the most patience and everything, Godspeed. Good for you. That is not me. I cannot. Literally. Like, my child is so defiant, my patience is gone. It is out the window. Not that I was the most patient person to begin with, but my daughter tests me to the fullest extent of whatever. I don't even know how to describe it. And I know that I struggle with remaining patient, and and then I get on social media and I see all these moms and, oh, well, if you yell at your kid, or if you say a cuss word, or if you do this, or you let them have this just to make them happy, or let them have screen time, the mom guilt, like, that is unreal. And I feel like some women probably don't even think about it, but there is so much mom shaming and woman shaming and, like, bullying made through social media that comes along with the postpartum, the depression, and the anxiety, and the worrying, because you're often comparing yourself to situations and stuff where you're only seeing a fragment of it.
Well, they're literally marking, or how do I say this? They're literally, expecting. Oh my God, I lost my train of thought. Look, my brain is not functioning today. So they have this expectation, right, that they're trying to follow. I guess that's what I'm trying to say, is that we have these moms on social media who, God bless you, if you are literally that calm all the time, because like you said, I could never. I literally think I have a fucking fight with my kids every 5 goddamn minutes in this house because something is going. And I have 2 boys who are wild as fuck and love to wrestle. They just love to do, like, boy things. So, yeah. I am quite literally always probably yelling at the top of my lungs to tell them to relax, because they're going to hurt themselves jumping off of the damn coffee table or jumping off of their beds. Like, these are the things that just happen, you know what I mean? Like, there's nobody, I don't think that there is one mother who quite literally can not say the same thing, you know what I mean? Like, if you don't ever yell at your kids, okay, great, but I highly doubt that. So I just want everybody to know, like, the things that you see on social media are not 100%, like you said. It's just like a fraction of what they go through the day, you know what I mean? Like, you just don't know what anybody's lives are truly like unless you're living it there with them. Yeah, then you would know. But
fully true. And like you said, like, my son is getting to that age where he wants to, like, backflip off the couch and stuff, but in comparison to my daughter, his listening abilities are, like, I can just tell him no maybe 1 or 2 times. Occasionally I have to be like, get down, and he'll listen.
Yeah.
My daughter, no, she thinks it's a joke. I could yell, she laughs. I could probably run away. She'd think it's funny. She'd think it's a game. Like, everything's a game to her. So to my mom and to girl moms, Godspeed, man. Women, even as little girls, are very tough individuals to deal with. But I feel like a lot of my anxiety and stress has doubled since my kids have become to this age where they're learning themselves, they're learning how to handle their emotions and stuff. And I don't think, like, there are resources for people dealing with severe depression and stuff, but there's not really a network for real individuals. Like, on social media, you'll see the occasional mom, like, you know, being real, like, this is my house, this is how things really are. But I don't think there's, like, a platform, really. And there might be, and I might just be missing it, but I don't think there's a developed platform where...
I don't think so. I don't know. Like you said, maybe we're missing it, but
I really didn't look too far into it, but as much as I'm on, like, TikTok and stuff, like, and I watch these videos and stuff, you would think something would come up, or there'd be an advertisement or something. As apparent as it is needed for women to deal with their mental health and to deal with being not just a mom but an individual, there should be a platform, and that's, I think, we're trying to develop here for us as women and for other women to safely come to a space and to listen to things they can relate to, and also give feedback or, you know, tell their story. You can, like, through the comments or through email or whatever it may be, about how they've gone through different situations or how they're struggling now, and creating a network of women, moms to be, people who can't have kids, people who don't want kids even, that are just navigating life. And I think that's our main goal with this podcast, and I just wanted to throw that out there while we were touching on the whole mom shaming and everything, because it's not just mom shaming, bullying and the things that people deal with their mental health is so crazy nowadays with just everything you have to deal with. There's always somebody who has an opinion on it. Like, there's going to be people who have an opinion on what we're doing, and that's fine.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck either.
It is what it is, and it's true. Like you said, we're here. We're trying to build this because we are two moms who have been through a lot, and we just want to make sure that everybody else has somewhere that they can go. Like you said, hey, email us, tell us your story, and maybe we can feature it on a later podcast, or do, you know, if that's something you would want, if you want people to hear your stories. But we're here just to be a listening ear, pretty much, and we're here to support in any kind of way that we possibly can, to lend out resources, or a helping hand whenever in need. That's just what we're here to do. We're very big on supporting women, and I feel like that's just not how this world is anymore. I just feel like women are not supporting women, and if women are supporting women, it's the best thing ever. You know, like, I love seeing other women just being like, yeah, girl, you got it, even though, like, their life may not be completely put together. You know what I mean? Like, that is what we're here for, to portray and to put out there with everything. So, like you said, just send us emails. Let us know in the comments. And I think we'll go back because we're veering a little bit.
We are veering. We do that a lot. So I just wanted to go back into the whole talk about, you know, depression and anxiety. And I think one of the main things that women who experience childbirth or even like a traumatic event is finding their individualism again, or, like I said, the trend of getting your pink back, which comes from, like, when flamingos, like, this is what it's associated with. Flamingos, when they have their baby, they lose their pink color. Like, they're not as vibrant, they're not as bright, and eventually that color starts to become back as their kid gets older and as life goes on. So that whole social media trend, if you ever see it, is based on that, because women, I feel like, when they have kids, they forget about being a person sometimes. They forget, you know, their interests, their goals, and they just are like, oh, you know, I'll worry about it later. I'm going to enjoy this time with my kid. In reality, you can do both. You can, the whole expression, you can have it all, 100% you can. It might take a little bit longer, but I think the finding yourself as an individual, finding time for self-care, finding a balance for it all is something that women really struggle a lot with.
Yeah, I think that is completely true. I mean, I struggle myself. It's hard, which is another reason why we're here doing this podcast. Just trying to kind of get out there and do something different and find something for ourselves. Like it just all ties in together. But yeah, it's fucking hard out here for a pimp. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I am just saying, like, it is just so difficult for us mothers to like try to organize and associate ourselves from just from being disassociate ourselves from being a mom, because that is our whole life. We are literally just moms, but trying to find something else, going somewhere else, you know what I mean, doing gym time or I don't know, watching a show or something. Like, it's just not easy to have time
Not
to
even
do all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's crazy. Like, I don't think I would, with everything that I have to go, through on my day-to-day basis, adding the gym would be, like, a huge deal for me. Like, even if it's for 30 minutes or whatever, like, I'm thinking in the back of my head, if I'm going to do that, then I have to get up extra early, and then I have to make sure that my kids are ready at this time, to then make sure that I have somebody to watch my youngest kid, so that I can go do that, and then make sure that I'm back home on time so that I can start working. You know what I mean? Like, it's all like that.
Anytime I know exactly what you mean. It's like anytime you think about doing one small thing for yourself, even if it's just leaving the house to go to the gym or go get your hair done or get your nails done, you're thinking, okay, so I'm going to make sure that they have a snack before I leave. I'm going to make sure I change their diapers, or he knows where the diapers are, or if there's an emergency, or then you go and you're thinking, well, what if my kid falls down the stairs? What if they accidentally turn the burner on the stove on? What if they don't know? What if he doesn't know where the fire extinguisher? I have a random text I send my husband, like, can you make sure that the gate's closed to this part of the house? Even though my daughter can open pretty much every child safety lock known to man, I'll be like, I've texted him randomly and been like, hey, because during the winter months, the upstairs part of our house doesn't have heat. It's just an old house. It was just built that way. So we have space heaters, and we run them occasionally, like when the kids are sleeping in their rooms and stuff. And I randomly at work one day, I'm like, I need to text him and let him know that the fire extinguisher is downstairs in the pantry if something happens. And he's like, duh, like, come on, like, why would you text me this? Like, I don't know how to. I'm like, he tells me all the time, I don't know why you think I don't know how to be a parent, because he did have 2 kids. And men are so much calmer, I think. And maybe not all men, because there are single dads out there that have to handle all of the stress, or dads that just sometimes care more than women do because they didn't find that, motherhood feeling. But the thoughts that go through my head on a daily basis, like...
No, it's crazy, yeah. And I think that's a lot of just trying to get our pink back, you know what I mean? Like, doing the little things, man. Like, it's just hard sometimes. It's really hard, but I think for us getting this and starting this podcast, I think this is really gonna try to get us to, not just identify as mothers, because we want to talk about multiple things here on this platform, not just the things that happen to us moms that play a big part in our lives.
Just like our honest opinions on life in general. Yeah. Like, just being honest.
Exactly.
Like our little logo says, just being honest. And that's basically what we're going to do. We're going to be honest about how we feel. We're going to curse probably a fucking lot, because that's just who we are. And then we're going to let other people, give their opinion, whether it's good or bad. At a certain point, negative shit's going to be removed. Like, we're not going to have a lot of negativity. But if you disagree with us, we're not going to argue. We're going to support friendly debate here. But
yeah, absolutely.
On this episode, we're really trying to get, women to open up about their experiences, especially in the comments. If you feel like you can tell people, your story, I think it would encourage other moms, like, hey, I'm not alone. I'm not the only one who feels this way. I shouldn't feel like an asshole because I want to leave the house for 5 minutes. And, oh my god, it's normal to worry about my kid 15,000 times in the first hour of the day? Yes, it's normal. It's also super normal to be pissed off in the morning because you don't have 5 minutes to yourself to drink a cup of coffee or breathe without somebody saying, Mom, Mommy, Mom, Mom, Mom. You know what I mean? Like, those are all normal feelings that we all experience. Yes, okay, there might be perfect moms out there that just don't want to admit it, or they don't feel those things. Yes. Okay, cool, good for you. But a lot of women, they do. They're just, like, on edge all of the time, whether it's outwardly or, you know, they're keeping it to themselves. There's just so much.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It is. It's really hard to navigate, and we just really want to make sure that everybody knows that they're not alone. We've dealt with it. We go through it every day still.
Yeah, like, I hear my kid right now, and I'm like, what is her issue? What is going on down there? I can't have 5 minutes, you know what I mean? And not that he can't handle it, it's just that she's been sick, and she's cranky, and everything is pissing her off today.
But I think that also, like, us as mothers, when our kids get sick, I think that it just mostly falls on us to nurture them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, men,
they'll be fine. They'll be fine.
They got it. They'll throw the Tylenol at them, and they'll be like, you're good. Like, buddy, we've got this, you know? Just like a tough man type thing. I think for us, we're just more like, yeah, let's get you some Tylenol. Let's do a cold press on you.
I got the vapor bath. I got the natural Epsom salts. I got the Hudson Baby, like, all natural cold. I'm like, my Walmart pickup order once the kids get sick, I'm like, Kleenex, Vicks Vapor Rub, all of these things, extra medicine droppers, and all these things. And my husband's like, just use the cup. No, bro, they don't take the cup. You have to use the medicine dropper. Like, these are things that women are, like, so extra about. And then men are like, why do you stress yourself out? I'm like, dude, this is not a switch. It doesn't go on and off. It's just natural. Like, hits me in the face. So, yeah. My kid's sick. I think of 50,000 things that I should be doing to, you know, and then if you don't do those things, you're like, oh my god, he's sicker because I didn't do this. Yeah, I didn't clean house properly, or I didn't put Vicks on his feet, or I didn't, you know, I gave him a bath and it was too late at night and the fan was running or some shit. Like, there are so many things that you stress yourself out by.
The fucking vapor Vicks, the Vicks, dude, that shit fixes it all.
Right, like,
throw that shit on everything.
My mom too, and like, you know, I was talking to Clay's mom the other day, she's like, are you putting Vicks on them? Absolutely, you know, Abigail, she won't let me put it on her feet, so we talked about how you put it on her neck, or on her back, or on her chest, or all these different things that you can do, and then putting like, they make this all natural, I don't even know what the brand is, but it's at Walmart, and it's like, the Epsom salts that are all natural with the vapor bath in it, and then the vapor body wash, and I'm an extra mom. Like, I am an asshole sometimes, yes, absolutely, but I'm still the extra mom that does all these extra steps, even when it's really just like, all they need is ibuprofen and cuddles and a little bit of vapor rub.
Yeah. So, let's open this up here to, let's throw out a question here, because we're veering again, where we're doing what we do best. And,
it all relates, though.
It does all relate. It really does. It's true. It really does. It relates to the point of, you know, that anxiety that us females, we're sensed, like, we have, like, a very heightened anxiety level when it comes to our younger kids and making sure that they're okay. You're completely true about that. I think that's just something that is constantly in the back of our heads, making sure that they're okay, you know. But I think my question for you is, what do you think that you want to start doing to try to get your pink back?
Are you saying for me or for the viewers? Or the listeners, I guess, in this case?
For you as well, and then the listeners also. Like, I would love to hear everybody who is, you know, going through that identity crisis and trying to figure out a way of getting themselves back to not I don't want to say back to the way you were before kids, but a better version of yourself, and kind of separating your mom life and your social life? Like, what do you think that means for you?
Now, for me, I don't really have a social life. I can't honestly say that I enjoy leaving my house because I really don't. I don't like going out, and I don't like being around people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that. It's just I prefer to be with my kids. So my social life is talking to you, or I have a group chat with some of my other friends, or talking to other friends. So that helps, like, because my group chat with my friends, they are both moms too. One of them is a single mom, so we kind of both all go on there and just, like, vent and bitch and, like, curse, and same thing we do here. So that for me is like having that outlet is nice. And if I'm having a lot of stress, I'll call Quay's mom, because my mom, we lost my dad a long time ago, and I'm not going to touch on that, but she deals with her own depression and everything, so I don't really have that outlet, that village, anybody around here. So for me, I think to get my pink back, or to get that motivation, because honestly, the energy level it takes to do anything after having kids or while raising kids is like, it takes a freaking, like, I feel like the Energizer Bunny needs to come to my house and, like, do something about this, because I feel drained every single day. So for me, I think what I'm doing is trying to find ways to work through that exhaustion, to little by little get energy back to put into things, and to find, like, outlets to where I can, relate to people, because even though I'm not surrounded by people, like, me and you don't live close anymore, I think for me to find my way back into my goals and what I want to do with my life, not just as a mom, is to build a support system for myself with, talking to friends or texting or, relating, even if it's just bitching about being a mom or whatever. Those things help me, like, they give me a little bit of boost of motivation to want to work on things and to think of things that I want to do for myself.
Nice, yeah. I can agree with that. I like you said, it does take a village, and I think for me, trying to get my pink back would just be trying to organize my life. You know what I mean? Like, I think for me, it's more of separating my mom life with my social life, obviously, but also just like you said, I don't really social life I have, but I do have a lot of, I have my brother, so I have my other brother, he's the middle kid, and his wife, they come and hang out, and their kid is close to Ben's age, so we always kind of just hang out all the time together, which is nice to have. And sometimes, we switch weekends. They'll take care of my kids one weekend, or I'll take care of their kids one weekend, so that we have some weekends alone to be with our partners. And it's nice to have that support. But I think for me to get my pink bag, I think more so is just trying to, like I said, organize my life. Get what's important for me right now is trying to get this podcast launched and out, but also look into other things. Like we had talked about, with our business that we had previously, talked about maybe rekindling that or starting that back up, which is another thing that we'll talk about later on. But I just want to be me. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be me, and I want everybody to see who I am, because I think I'm a wonderful kid. Like, I'm a wonderful catch, and
I said kid, girl. We way past that.
I know, I'm not a kid anymore, Neely. What the fuck? You're 30 years old. Bitch, relax. I know. I was going to say kid, but then I was like, oh, I'm not a kid. I'm a good catch, so I am a great fucking catch. So, I just think that I have a lot of love to give. I think that's just one thing about me that radiates from me, and I always just want to make sure that everybody is good. You know what I mean? I just have such a big heart, and I mess around a lot, and I talk like a fucking sailor, and I should have been a comedian in my past life. I may have been, to be honest with you. I don't know.
I mean, the door's still open, like.
Yeah, I know. We were talking about the door is still open. Watch me. But, no, I think for me, it's just, that's it. You know what I mean? Like, just kind of getting myself back to just being me. Mm-hmm. Because I think I lost myself a bit in the transition of becoming a mom, and I kind of felt a little lost for a while, and I felt like I wasn't myself. And yeah, I gained weight, but you know, like I'm working on that as well. That's just another
whole another topic.
Really, yeah, to me, the weight gain to me is like, it is what it is. I am trying to lose weight, but honestly, for me, I love myself regardless of being big or skinny or whatever it is. I think for me, mostly it's just being healthy, and making sure that I'm here for a long period of time for my kids. But that's pretty much it, you know, just making sure that I can identify myself and be me, and just be joyful.
I think that is a big part of it, and I think it ties back into the energy thing, like, mm-hmm. You know, the energy you give out is also, like, the energy you want to receive from people and all that. And back to the whole, like, weight gain, like, bro, my thyroid is literally not working at all right now, and I've been experiencing all these different things, and the doctor's like, oh, you know, up to you after having a kid, it takes your body to get back to normal, and she's telling me this the other day, and I'm like, yeah, you're right, and then I'm like, wait a minute. My son's 1.5. Like, it's been over a year, bro. What's happening here? I feel like a lot of women struggle with that. Even if they only gain a little bit of weight, I feel like that's another part of the mental thing, is a lot of women worry more about their appearance after having kids, after their body goes through that dramatic change, than probably before. I think they're more self-aware of their body and different things, because before kids, like, I definitely, like, never really thought about weight gain as much. I always, like, I worked out, you did yoga, I did all this stuff, and now I'm just like, where's the fucking time or the energy? Yeah. But yeah, seriously. Yeah, but then mentally I'm like, God, I really need to, like, maybe I'd have more energy, maybe I'd feel better, but yeah, I definitely think that's a hard thing for women to deal with too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I think we'll leave it at that for you guys. Today's episode was kind of just like, Abby said, like, just
a montage, I think. I think it was like, it's not the best one we recorded, guys, because we had some excellent shit live, like, video shit.
No, we really fucking did, dude. This thing has been a pain in the ass, straight up, for some reason. Like,
anything that you want, you have to work for. It's not going to just be easy. Like, we should know that.
No, yeah, absolutely. But I think we just became so frustrated, and I think we just want to get this episode out there because we don't want to keep putting it off, and you know, with all the technical difficulties. So we're just going to leave it at this, and let us know, like, put in the comments, dude, whatever, like, let us know what you want to hear. Let us know if it's something like this a little bit more, or let us know, just tell us in the comments section, and we'll improve, and we'll get, you know, we'll get better over time.
It's like a fine wine. We'll get better with age and time and all of that. Like, but I do want to put some stuff out there for you guys. We keep saying email us. Our email is actually momswithoutfilter@gmail.com. We will take any, like, questions, concerns. You know, if you want to share your story, if you just need an outlet to vent to. Now, I'm not saying, like, we're certified therapists here, because legally we cannot give you advice, and, like, that's what you should do. But we definitely can listen, and if you don't feel comfortable, you know, like we said before, commenting or sharing your story in the comments, you can definitely email us. You can leave I forget what I was going to say with that, but definitely for that. Also, make sure you subscribe, because the more people that subscribe to our YouTube channel, the more benefits it actually unlocks for us for streaming, like, live and stuff. We had to have, like, something like 50 subscribers on here to open the live stream where we can co-stream on here, and that would be like super helpful for us. Another thing, we talked a lot about mental health, and we didn't really talk much about how serious postpartum depression really is. And there are a lot of moms out there that are struggling either in silence, or you see the signs yourself or in others. And I want to give this phone number out. It's from the CDC. It's the National Maternal Mental Health Hotline, and you can call this number anytime if you yourself needs help, or you feel like you know somebody. And most importantly, if you see a serious crisis, please dial 911. Please call 911, report. Even if you're afraid that you're going to get in trouble for telling on your friend or something, this depression thing is very important. It's very serious, and I want people to know. So the hotline number is 1-833-852-6262. I'm also going to put that number in the comments. If you go to the CDC website and or even if you Google postpartum depression, there are a lot of outlets for severe depression. Not so much for like your day-to-day schedules. Like mental health is becoming more aware, but those resources are very important to know about, that they're there, so that you don't have to be afraid to reach out if you are seriously struggling, because there's a lot out there to help you. And I think we talked about how the next episode we're going to be going into special needs kids, not just special needs like the ones you see every day, but the difficulties. Each kid learns different, each situation's different, and we're going to be focusing a lot on that on the next episode. So if you have any suggestions on what you would like to hear about that, please put them out there, and hope you guys have a great night.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening. Have a wonderful weekend, a great holiday if you celebrate Easter. Happy Easter, and be safe out there, guys.
I definitely forgot about Easter. Shit. All right, I'm gonna hit the button, but I'm not gonna hang up. All right.
Okay.